Dear chosen ones, you've been tired in a way that doesn't make sense. Not the usual end-of-day tired or the kind that disappears after rest. This is different. It sits in your bones, slows your thoughts, and makes even simple things feel heavier than they should. You can't point to a reason. Nothing dramatic changed. Nothing happened that explains why you feel this drained. Yet the feeling keeps returning, stronger than before. This kind of exhaustion often shows up when God is moving, something in a chosen one's life. It's quiet but powerful. It doesn't announce itself with a reason. It settles on you like a warning or a signal, or a shift that your spirit notices before your mind understands what's going on. You might have days where you wake up feeling like you ran a race in your sleep. You may notice your usual interests don't pull you in the same way. Conversations that were once easy feel heavy. Noise feels louder. Even small decisions feel like they require more effort than they should. It's almost as if something inside you is slowing down your pace on purpose. Many chosen ones go through this before a major change, not because they are weak or falling apart, but because God is adjusting their inner world. When something big is coming, your spirit often senses it first. You feel the weight of a door that's about to open, even if you don't know which door it is yet. You feel the pressure of a shift, even if you don't understand what it means. This exhaustion pulls you away from distractions. It forces you to pause. It makes you examine things you would normally ignore. It turns your attention inward and upward. When a chosen one is being moved into a new season, the old routine starts feeling too tight. The old environment starts feeling off. The old habits don't align with who you're becoming. The tiredness is not meant to break you. It's meant to slow you down long enough to hear what God has been trying to tell you. Some people ignore this feeling. They push through it, treating it like regular burnout. But chosen ones sense the difference. Deep down, you already know this isn't just about sleep or stress. Something is shifting in your spiritual atmosphere, and your body is reacting to that shift. Before God brings clarity, He often brings stillness. And stillness can feel like fatigue when you don't understand it yet. But this is the beginning of a message, the beginning of preparation, the beginning of a divine redirection that your spirit picked up long before you could put language to it. If this heavy tiredness has been following you, wait until you hear the next sign. It will make you look at your exhaustion in a completely new way. Chosen ones, there comes a point where the tiredness stops feeling physical and starts feeling spiritual. You may not have words for it, but you can tell something is shifting underneath everything you do. It's like you're picking up a signal you didn't ask for, a quiet alert that keeps tugging at you. Nothing around you looks different, yet everything feels different. This usually happens when God begins preparing a chosen one for a new season. Before anything shows up in the physical world, something begins moving in the spiritual world. Your mind might still be focused on your routine, your responsibilities, your day-to-day life, but your spirit is already sensing a change in direction. You might notice you don't enjoy certain conversations anymore. You may feel drained around people who never used to affect you. Environments that once felt comfortable now feel strange or heavy. Even your own goals may start feeling out of place, almost like they belong to a version of you that's fading away. This can be confusing because nothing is wrong on the surface. You didn't suddenly lose interest in everything you cared about. What's happening is deeper. When God is shifting your path, your spirit becomes sensitive to anything. That's not meant to follow you into the next chapter. That sensitivity shows up as exhaustion. It's your inner warning system telling you, pay attention. Something doesn't fit anymore. You're not losing passion. You're being pulled toward alignment. God often uses this type of tiredness to bring your focus back to Him, away from anything draining your purpose. You may find yourself craving silence more than usual. You may feel drawn to step back from certain activities. You may want to think more and talk less. This isn't isolation. This is spiritual recalibration. Chosen ones often experience this right before a breakthrough. It's not that life is falling apart. It's that God is rearranging the pieces so you can move forward without unnecessary weight. The tiredness helps separate what's temporary from what's meant for your future. Right now, your spirit knows something your mind hasn't fully understood. A shift is forming. A change is coming. Your exhaustion is the first hint. Stay with me. You'll learn the first clear sign that your tiredness is actually God pulling you into a new direction. Chosen ones. There will be moments when you suddenly feel the urge to distance yourself from things that once felt normal. You're not trying to push anyone away. You're not angry. You're not becoming cold. You just feel a quiet pull to step back, rest more, and move slower. This is one of the clearest signs that God is preparing a chosen one for a major shift. When a new season is approaching, God often separates you from noise before he reveals direction. That separation doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it shows up as simple exhaustion. You're too tired to engage in meaningless conversations, too drained to pretend you're okay in places that don't support your growth, too overwhelmed to keep carrying responsibilities that no longer serve your calling. Some people will misunderstand this change in you. They may think you're losing interest or becoming distant. The truth is, your spirit is being pulled out of the old environment so you can hear what God has been trying to tell you. When a chosen one is surrounded by distractions, the message gets buried. So the exhaustion forces you to sit still long enough to receive clarity. You may notice you're craving quiet moments more than usual. You might want to spend time alone without knowing why. Activities that used to excite you feel like they demand too much energy now. Even social spaces that once felt lively may feel suffocating. This isn't random. This is God pulling you closer. When God is about to reposition you, he often strips away the noise first. He slows down your pace so you don't rush into something that doesn't belong to your future. He lets the exhaustion make you more aware of what drains you and what strengthens you. Through that awareness, you begin to see the truth about your connections, your goals, and your surroundings. This phase is not meant to be scary. It's protective. God is preparing your inner world before he adjusts your outer world. He knows you can't move into your next season carrying everything from your last one. Some things were good for where you were, but not for where you're going. This tiredness is part of the separation process. It's a gentle signal. Get ready. I'm shifting you. The exhausting part is temporary, but the clarity it leads to is long-lasting. Once the fog lifts, you'll see why God needed you to step back for a moment. You'll realize he wasn't pulling you away from life. He was pulling you toward your purpose. Keep watching, because the next sign reveals why your emotions start acting differently. Right before a divine shift, my chosen ones, there are moments in a chosen one's life when everything seems to slow down at the same time. Your pace drops. Your motivation shifts. Your usual drive disappears. It feels strange because you know you're capable of more. But something inside you won't let you move the way you used to. This slowdown is not laziness. It's a signal. When God is about to redirect your life, he often slows you down first. He doesn't want you running toward a door that looks right but isn't meant for you. He doesn't want you pouring energy into something that won't matter in the next chapter. So he uses exhaustion as a way of keeping you still long enough for his guidance to reach you. Maybe your plans aren't working the way they used to. The ideas that once flowed easily now feel blocked. You try to push forward, but it feels like you're walking through heavy air. Even small tasks feel like they demand extra effort. This is usually a sign that God is closing certain paths, so you don't waste time on them. You might notice certain opportunities fall apart without warning. People you expected to rely on may become distant. Projects you were excited about may lose their spark. At first, this can feel confusing or disappointing, but often these shifts are protection. God removes what isn't aligned with your purpose before it becomes a problem. This tiredness becomes a shield. It stops you from forcing what isn't meant for you. It keeps you from agreeing to things that would drain you later. It makes you pause long enough to see the truth about the situations and people around you. When God slows you down, it's because he's preparing to redirect you towards something better. But to see that new path clearly, you have to release the old one. The exhaustion helps you loosen your grip. It helps you see what no longer fits. It helps you understand where your energy should no longer go. You may be wondering why your motivation feels unstable. You may feel guilty for not being able to work the way you used to. But this season isn't about performance. It's about positioning. God is shifting your path, and your spirit is adjusting before your mind catches up. Right now, you're being prepared for something bigger than what you can see. Chosen ones. Another sign that God is preparing a chosen one for a major shift is the sudden wave of emotions that come out of nowhere. You may notice you feel heavier inside, even if nothing dramatic happened recently. Small things affect you more than usual. Memories you thought you were done with suddenly return. You may feel sensitive, reflective, or overwhelmed without being able to explain why. This emotional weight often shows up right before a breakthrough. It isn't random. It's part of the spiritual cleanup God does before opening a new path for you. When God wants to lift you higher, He first brings buried emotions to the surface so they don't follow you into your next season. You might feel a mix of sadness, frustration, restlessness, or even a strange emptiness. It may feel like something is ending, even if you can't see what that something is. That feeling is accurate. Many breakthroughs require endings first. Old mindsets, old attachments, old expectations, and old disappointments have to be released. The exhaustion makes it harder to ignore these things, and the emotional intensity forces you to face what you've been carrying. Chosen ones often feel this right before God shifts them into a new assignment. The emotional pressure is meant to clear space inside you when your heart is full of old weight. There's no room for the new blessings that are meant to enter. So God allows this heaviness to rise so it can finally be released. You may find yourself reflecting on people who hurt you, situations that drained you, or opportunities that fell apart. It doesn't mean you're going backwards. It means God is removing the last pieces of spiritual clutter. He's letting you feel the weight so you'll recognize that you don't need to carry it anymore. During this period, you might crave peace more than anything. You may want quiet moments, simple routines, or gentle space for your thoughts. You may feel distant from people who don't understand what you're going through. This isn't you shutting down. This is healing happening in real time. Your emotions may feel stronger than your logic right now. That doesn't mean you're unstable. It means your spirit is processing something important. As God prepares you for a new level, your heart and mind have to realign. The emotional weight is part of that realignment. And once this weight lifts, it won't return in the same way. It's preparing you for the clarity, strength, and purpose that are coming next. If this emotional heaviness feels familiar, wait until you hear what happens when God starts breaking old spiritual ties you didn't even know were holding you back. One of the clearest signs that God is shifting a chosen one's life is when you start losing interest in things that used to matter. You may notice your routines feel dull. Your old goals don't excite you. The places you once enjoyed now feel uncomfortable. Even conversations that used to flow easily may feel draining. It's not because you're becoming unmotivated. It's because you're outgrowing what once fit you. When God is preparing you for a new chapter, He slowly disconnects you from anything that can't follow you into your future. That disconnection often feels like exhaustion, not physical tiredness, but a deep sense of, I don't belong here anymore. You may not see the new door yet, but your spirit already knows the old one is closing. Maybe the job you were once passionate about now feels empty. Maybe certain friendships feel harder to maintain. Maybe habits that once brought comfort feel meaningless. You're not imagining it. This is spiritual transition. God is removing the emotional connection from things that would limit your growth in the next season. This stage can feel confusing because it often comes before any new opportunities appear. There's a gap between what's ending and what's beginning. You're not where you were, but you don't know where you're going yet. That space can feel lonely, slow, and uncertain, but it's necessary. God doesn't want you holding on to things out of fear or habit. He wants you to move forward with clarity. The tiredness and lack of interest are signals that your purpose is shifting. They push you away from the familiar so you don't miss what's coming. You might even feel guilty for losing interest in things you used to pray for. But understand this, blessings have seasons. Some were meant to help you grow. Their purpose is complete. When God is calling you higher, the old blessings make space for new ones. During this time, you may feel drawn to reflect more, slow down, and simplify your life. You might find yourself wanting to declutter your environment or rethink your priorities. That's not a coincidence. Your spirit is preparing for the next stage. You're being tuned to a new frequency, one that aligns with the door God is opening. This shift is not a loss. It's preparation. It's a sign that something greater is already on its way. Even if you can't see it yet, stay with me. We'll talk about the surprising way God uses exhaustion to protect you from hidden dangers you never saw coming. Chosen ones. There comes a point in the shift where noise feels overwhelming. Even normal conversations feel too loud. Social spaces that used to bring you energy now leave you drained. You may feel the urge to sit alone, think quietly, or withdraw from unnecessary interactions. This isn't you becoming distant or antisocial. This is your spirit craving stillness because God is trying to speak. Chosen ones often experience this right before a major breakthrough. When God is preparing to reveal direction, He removes distractions first. Silence becomes the place where clarity can finally reach you. Stillness becomes the space where your spirit can reset. God doesn't always speak in big moments. Sometimes His guidance comes through moments of quiet that you didn't even plan. You might find yourself wanting to turn off your phone more often. You may stop replying as quickly. You may step back from conversations that don't feel meaningful. You may feel uncomfortable around people who bring chaos or negativity. This is your spirit filtering your surroundings for you. Anything that interferes with your peace becomes hard to tolerate. This need for silence is also tied to spiritual sensitivity. When God is moving things in your life, your spirit starts picking up on things you used to ignore. You become aware of energy, intentions, and emotional shifts around you. Noise doesn't help you process any of that. Silence does. It's during these quiet moments that God often brings sudden insights. You may remember something you overlooked. You may feel a nudge to let go of a situation. You may feel guided toward a new idea or new direction. Stillness opens the door for these revelations. This phase can also make you feel physically tired because your spirit is processing more than usual. It's sorting through emotions, memories, and inner signals. You may not realize it, but your spirit is getting stronger, clearer, and more aware. The exhaustion forces you to pause long enough for that inner work to happen. Many chosen ones try to fight this stage. They try to stay busy so they don't feel disconnected. But the more you resist it, the heavier you may feel. God isn't trying to remove you from life. He's trying to prepare you for your next level. He needs your attention. He needs your awareness. And sometimes He needs you to sit still long enough. As the shift gets closer, many chosen ones begin to feel a strange internal pressure. It's not anxiety and it's not fear. It's a deep awareness that something in your life can't stay the same. This pressure usually shows up when God is preparing you for transformation that can't be delayed any longer. You may feel restless even on calm days. You might sense that you're supposed to make changes, but you don't fully understand what those changes are yet. You may feel caught between who you used to be and who you're becoming. This in-between space is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. This pressure often appears in moments when your life feels stable. That's what makes it confusing. From the outside, nothing looks wrong, but inside, you feel a pull, a stirring, a tightening that tells you growth is coming. When God is about to elevate a chosen one, He doesn't wait for your life to fall apart. He starts shifting you even when everything appears calm. You may notice old habits feel impossible to continue. Things you used to tolerate now feel heavy. You may suddenly see the truth about situations you once overlooked. This is spiritual maturity being activated. You're being pushed toward your next level, even if you don't feel ready. The exhaustion you've been feeling ties into this. When your spirit knows a transition is near, your body starts slowing down. Your emotions start surfacing. Your mind begins questioning things you never questioned before. This is how God prepares you to step into a new season with clarity. This pressure is also a sign that God is breaking limitations off you. You may feel the urge to stop settling. You might feel uncomfortable with patterns that once felt normal. You may grow tired of being in places where you don't feel spiritually aligned. The pressure isn't trying to crush you, it's trying to lift you. Many chosen ones confuse this stage with being lost. But you're not lost. You're being softened, stretched, and molded for what's coming next. You're being taught to trust God more and depend less on your old ways of thinking, even if you don't know what the next step looks like. God is getting you ready to take it. You might feel frustrated because you want answers, but feel too tired to chase them. That's exactly the point. God doesn't want you forcing your way forward. He wants you to move with Him, not ahead of Him. This inner pressure is the invitation. It means the shift is close. It means your spirit is waking up. It means the old version of you is fading and the new version is getting stronger. Stay with this message, because the finally I reveals the moment everything clicks and how to recognize when your breakthrough is only days away. My dear chosen ones, when all these signs start showing up at the same time, the exhaustion becomes almost impossible to ignore. It isn't just tiredness anymore. It's a full spiritual reset happening inside you. This is the moment when God prepares a chosen one to step into a new chapter with clearer vision, stronger faith, and a renewed sense of purpose. You may wake up feeling drained, even after resting. You may feel emotionally full, yet spiritually alert. Your mind might feel clouded, but your intuition feels sharper than ever. This mix of feelings is not a mistake. It means you're crossing from one season to another. You're leaving behind old layers, old expectations, and old limitations. During this time, God is reorganizing things in your life. Certain relationships may fade. Certain habits may fall away. Certain plans may stop working. It may feel like you're losing control, but what's actually happening is alignment. When God is shifting your path, anything that doesn't fit your future starts weakening. The exhaustion makes it harder for you to hold on to what's no longer meant for you. This reset is protective. God is slowing you down so you don't walk into the wrong opportunities. He's closing doors you would have forced open. He's pulling you away from situations that would drain your spirit later. Even when it feels frustrating, this slowdown is saving you from unnecessary pain. You may feel alone during this phase, but you're not abandoned. God often works quietly. He strengthens you in private before He reveals the blessing in public. The silence, the slowness, the heaviness, they're all signs that something is being rebuilt inside you. As this reset continues, you may begin to feel small sparks of clarity. A new idea may pop up. A new direction may feel right. A decision you were unsure about may suddenly make sense. This is how God shows you that the shift isn't coming. It's already happening. Your spirit is adjusting. Your mindset is changing. Your purpose is rising to the surface again. The exhaustion is simply the cost of shedding an old version of yourself. This entire journey is a sign that you're not stuck. You're being positioned. You're not being drained. You're being refined. You're not losing strength. You're gaining alignment. What feels heavy today is preparing you for what's about to open in your life. Stay aware. Stay patient. Stay connected. The shift you've been sensing is real, and it's leading you exactly where you need to be.